Welcome to freedivorce.com.
This is Christina.
And this is Ed. And today we're going to discuss the differences between a divorce and a legal separation.
Yeah, some people file for divorce and some file for legal separation. Should people file for divorce or legal separation? And what is the difference between the two? That's a common question I get in my office.
In almost all cases, you want to file for a divorce and not a legal separation. With both a divorce and a legal separation, the court is going to make orders dividing your property, dividing your debts. The court's going to make child custody orders. They're going to make support orders. The process is nearly identical. You fill out the same court forms to get a divorce as you would fill out to get a legal separation. In fact, the petition to file for a divorce is the exact same court form as a petition to file for a legal separation. You're just checking different boxes. The main difference between a divorce and a legal separation is at the end of a legal separation, you are still married to your spouse.
So why would anybody file for legal separation if it's just like divorce?
There's lots of different reasons, but I would say that there are three main categories of reasons why people are going to come into our office and want to file for a legal separation. The first reason has to do with the residency requirement that we mentioned in an earlier video. In order to file for divorce in California, you have to be a resident of the state for at least 6 months. If you move to California and you haven't been here for the full 6 months, a common tactic is to file your petition as a petition for a legal separation. Wait until you've met the 6-month residency requirement and then amend your petition to make it a divorce action, which is a very simple thing to do. The second most common reason people are going to file for a legal separation has to do with health insurance. So I'm married and I have health insurance through my wife's employment. I have that coverage because I'm her spouse. Now, if I get a divorce, I'm no longer her spouse, and I will automatically lose my health insurance coverage that I have through her employment. Now, if I get a legal separation, I am still her spouse. And under some plans, I can continue to be covered under my spouse's health insurance through her employment if we only have a legal separation, never if we have a divorce. This used to be a common tactic, especially when I first became a lawyer back in the 1980s. But as time has gone on, insurance companies have gotten smarter. And what you see now in most insurance plans is they will treat a judgment of legal separation just like a judgment of divorce, and they will terminate a spouse's health insurance coverage. And you really don't even need to use this legal separation tactic if maintaining health insurance is your goal. In a later video, we're going to talk about how you can structure your divorce judgment in such a way that it will divide your property and make custody orders and make support orders, but will not terminate your marital status until you and your spouse stipulate to terminate your marital status. So you can get everything you want done completed, except you can leave your marital status open-ended for an indefinite period of time so you can continue to have health insurance coverage through your spouse's employment. The third most common reason people come in and ask for legal separation is usually based on religious reasons. A lot of religions don't recognize divorce. So someone will come into my office and say, well, in the eyes of God, I'm married forever or until death do us part to my spouse, but I just can't stand living with my spouse. So in that situation, you can file for a legal separation because you're going to need court orders that divide your property and make custody orders and make child support orders, and you need all of that. And you can get all of that with a judgment of legal separation. And so those are the three most common grounds.
If you get a legal separation, you're technically still married to your spouse. Does that present any legal problems?
It can present a number of problems, but the main problem is you're still married to your spouse, which means you can't remarry. Now, most of the people who come in to see me and tell me they want a legal separation swear up and down they'll never remarry. But it's inevitable. 2, 3, 4 years later, the vast majority of those people come back to see me and tell me they're now engaged, they want to get married, and what do? Well, what you need to do is you need to get divorced from your spouse, your first spouse, which means you have to file a divorce petition with the court, you have to pay a filing fee. Now, that second divorce is going to be a pretty simple matter. You don't have to relitigate everything that was decided in the legal separation action. So all of those court orders that were made in the legal separation action that divided your property and set custody orders and made support orders, those are all still good. The only issue you're going to need to deal with in the new divorce action is termination of your marital status, which is a very simple issue.
So if you file for divorce after having had a legal separation a few years before then, do you still have to reserve your spouse with process?
Absolutely, yes. You're going to have to serve your spouse with a summons and petition and go through all of that. So you really want to think long and hard before you make a decision to file for a legal separation as opposed to filing for a divorce. This has been a presentation by freedivorce.com.